Hello, everyone. My name is Chaz, and welcome to the What If Deku, or no, sorry, let me rephrase it. What if Moo Moo was in My Hero Academia? I keep saying Deku for some stupid reason. I know he's in this What If, but I wanted to go over his backstory. But but this is Moo Moo. And yeah, I am getting better at making these videos. So, yeah. So, reason why I had Moo Moo on, or making this in the first place, when I watched or rewatched My Hero Academia, the is because of her, yeah, in that fight scene. So yeah, he's an immortal cow, and he has a abilities of infinity and zero, and he mostly uses his like, yeah. So their mother gave birth to both of them. She was normal human like herself. That one, but her brother was a size of a Dr. Pepper can. Okay? And that's what he looks like. And then his mother decided to give him away so that because she doesn't want a farm animal like so she abandoned him, and he got found by her. So yeah, and he took him to her farm that she was running, or is still running. So yeah, the she can she can sense that he's the most powerfulest person. Yeah, as she took good care of it, or good care of him actually, because when he got older, he learned, or his body went back into a human like state, or into the toddler. Yeah. He was the size of a, where is it? Give me a moment. I had the baby picture on here. Maybe I just accidentally. So yeah, as he says, "You poor her." Her name, as she's feeling doubt about him. So she's like, so he mostly helped around a farm when he is only about the same size as Ares. Yeah, same size as Ares. He's helping around the farm. As all the cows and bulls, oh, they never seen a human with their, yeah, but they actually took care of him. Like every time some random bull is out of line and charges right at him, the one of the cows hits the other. Like hits them. Yeah. And yeah. Now a time skip to about a 15. He already got his quirk checked, and yeah, his quirk was about to say a way stronger version of Todoroki. Yeah, way stronger version. So, yeah. He basically didn't die. Yeah. So, yeah. So now, back to original timeline was now he's 15. He's going to UA. And the after that, like I'm skipping the whole like almost like I'm skipping the robot part and the written part. I have those two backwards. So I'm skipping I'm getting into a fun stuff, not the boring stuff like he like all that stuff. So yeah. But at USJ he basically the like he's 15 and one day he like helped a farm. Like he got so strong his body was like that. Yeah. And the of course before he even walked into class 1A his his biological sister that doesn't recognize him stops him and says the all that like I'll beat you up so bad you won't be able to get back up. Yeah. And she actually introduces herself then that as he says, huh. Okay. As he as she's like, wow. As, of course, one night before USJ thing, there was the weirdest question came from her to do like a blood thing. So yeah. So he basically took some blood, and yes, because during that whole shenanigans, cow lady, and he decided to go, and visit as how's the he doing? Well, he's doing pretty good. As and then now at the USJ, the Moo Moo was battling against uh, the Nomu to and against all the villains because he tells Mr. Zawa that he'll keep or that the Moo Moo keeps all the villains at bay. Okay? As don't worry, I won't do anything too stupid enough. As yeah. During that time at the farm, she visits again and she asks or actually she gave her something that says, well, I know that you who are wondering about who's that kid. This as her husband told her that or he didn't care as long as he has a son. And or anyone. And she wanted him back. Yeah. Of course, she gave her the blood thing from him, and the doctors ran tests on it. And so it begins. As, yeah. Wow. So, yeah. They basically won that. No one got injured. Mr. Awa, he got told by his student that I'll take on a Nomu for you. You'll take on small fries. I'll take on the big fish. As, yeah, you're just, or Mr. Aizawa at first was hesitant because he's a student, but sorry, stubbed my toe on a wall. So yeah. So he basically ran down and he like transformed into that, and he goes toe to toe with the Nomu, and yeah, he starts beating the crud out of the Nomu as he says, let me guess, your weak spot is your brain, aren't you? As he holds him down, as he asks Mr. Aizawa to borrow his knife. As Mr. Aizawa says, okay. So then, after that, she says to her husband that she actually had 2 kids, but she was worried that if he thinks about the number 2. And who's the one that gave him his name of Moo? Was, of course, her. So, yeah, that's not even her biological child. So yeah, he starts battle, so then now afterwards, of course, she goes home. All of the students goes home, as he goes to the farm, as her own mother tells her like when, of course, when they were talking, as they told her that the student that's in class 1A, the one with gray hair, and she says, yeah, his name's Moo. So what? Well, he is your brother, actually. Actual brother. As she's a little bit shocked. Like, what? As she couldn't believe that her own parents kept that away from her. As they told her that you weren't ready at the time, so that's why but now you're ready. So, yeah, as her own tells her the story of how they were born, like, you're coming out normally, but your brother, as she has the picture of her brother, as when he was just a toddler. And she's still like, wow. So you're telling me that my brother's is in class 1A? Correct. They, or they nod their heads. Yeah. They. So yeah. The next day, the very next day, when her classmates walked with her and she sees her brother right before her even walked into class 1A, as he as she walks up to him, as huh, you again, as yeah. So she as instead of saying that, the she says, "How rude." Hmm. The sorry, I'm. Of course, he says sorry. I'm just trying to wake up. As she can tell that he's not lying. Hmm? Of course, she decides. Mm, so she like told him that, and I know that we, of course, we met a couple of days ago thing, but I also knew that you were. I didn't realize that you were my brother, Moo Moo. Really? I, as his memories were, he's trying to remember, but no, after school. Sure thing, big brother. As he walks into class, or they walked into their separate classrooms, as he says, as his own, or like his own classmates are like trying to tell him that your sister's so nice. As he says, as he's, as Mr. Aizawa knows that he's tired out from like a farm. So Mr. Aizawa walks up to him, and instead of like no sleeping in class kind, he decides to be so like nice to him. Hey, I know that you trained a lot more on that farm, but the and I also know as your teacher, the make sure you don't like fall asleep, but I'm allowing you to fall asleep, okay? As he says, okay. As yeah, then a whole like shenanigans thing. As of course, after school, his sister's trying to look for him, but he moves faster as lightning fast. Like he was gone in a blink of an eye. Yeah. And she's like, As he goes, and like his own, or that girl, or her, she filled him in on what is going down. Your, I know you that you, we, or I know that you're adopted, but because as she explains why that they or the why or your mother or actual mother says this, and then of course because he was raised on a farm, so he basically knew a way around every milks and crannies. Yeah. So yeah, basically the moo moo is like, okay. Of course, so yeah. The next day, like during the half a day thing, or half of the week, like 10 days, but half of it, she goes up to her, or he trains himself, and then his own mother came out of nowhere. Yeah. And he's, of course, he worked on a farm. So he operates the machine, and he knows that as he's like guiding them around everyone, like he's guiding everyone around. Sorry. Or guiding all the cows to their respective things. As, yeah, he's more hard worker than okay. But his actual mom was with, her, as, man, how do you feel? And as he's walking around, as one of the bulls, one bull in particular got so mad. Like, he's, yeah, as he starts charging at Moo Moo, as, yeah, Moo Moo is, or actually most of the other cows, or actually he transforms into a Minotaur, had, yeah, and scared him, yeah. He actually can transform into a full one or a half one at will. Yeah. So, yeah, so she's like, woo wee. No wonder my son is so wonderful. He's a hard worker, too. So, yeah, as his sister sees him, how hard he worked on the farm, and all the cows, even including all the bulls, like him, even respects him more and more. He takes care of them, and he, yeah, feeds them back to health, and then all that stuff. And, yeah. So then, what else? What else? Oh, yes, I'm skipping this is the fill-in part, because I'm skipping the camp arc, so, or sports festival, and so yeah. He basically, like, did all three, and during the raid arc, All Might was down, but not out, but the All for One says this: it's time for you to die. As he shoots a laser, or big cannon of laser. As Moo Moo, who stepped in his cow form, pushing the laser attack right back at him, or like literally like stop the attack. So, yeah, and the All Might in this universe is totally different from the canon version. So, yeah, so All Might in this universe is a fake hero. So, yeah, he does it only for skits and, like, not the actual, like, whoops. Sorry about that. And, yeah. So then, but he came out of nowhere and stops the attack. And, yeah. I hope that you guys knew what's gonna happen next. He literally dragged it all the way back to All for One's, yeah, and he transformed into that, and he uppercuts All for One, like, into the stomach, as he, like, basically he was bleeding, or Moo Moo was bleeding, and but he's okay. So yeah, as his own sister's watching her own brother battling against like All for One, as they never seen him get beat by the pro heroes, but when they saw it, or when she saw her own son is going toe to toe with and All for One, she thinks to herself, he's crazy. But yeah, it makes sense. As he uppercuts All for One, and like, yeah, and he uses his stabbing skills, so he stabs the Moo who, right in the chest. Usually it kills a boy, but he's mortal, so he says, you think that someone, and I'm not just an ordinary cow or ordinary person. I'm Moo. As, yeah. Then,
Moo Sunotori.
yeah.
Moo Sunotori.
So, yeah, that's what he says as he, like, beats the snot out of All for One, and he used his own horns, not his mother's horns, but his own horns. He breaks them off, and unattach them, and they transformed into weapons. And yeah, he could be one scary son of a gun. So yeah, it's basically pretty powerful, to be honest with you. He's basically he used his, it looked like his own mother's, as he, like, sending him, but All for One had a backup strategy that he'll use. As he says, you're immortal, so as he says, this quirk that I possess inside my body is a nuclear, so basically, yeah. As he decides to take him and lifted him up into the atmosphere, and like he threw and when he activated it, yeah, they thought he was dead, but he crashed into the water as he lifts his head up. As yeah, his friend, or as he gets up, shakes it off, as he says, "Ooh, that was one." As he like swims back to his home, as he gets up, here comes a water bull. Yeah. As they were crying, but he says, or students were crying, including his sister, as he walks. Intruder alert! Intruder alert! Is that they thought it was like a seaweed monster thing or a seaweed villain? As he wipes that seaweed away, she basically looked around and sees a giant glob of seaweed, as he knows that his sister's looking, as he says, as sister, can you do me a favor? Can you take these seaweeds off of me? Don't worry. As she's terrified of as All Might can't, as he grabs the seaweed stuff out, as he's, and they're like, as she walks over, oh, near him. You know, I'm actually your brother, right? I came back. As all the pro heroes are removing the kelp from Moo Moo's entire body, as when he should go rest off, as she ran all the way up to him and gave him a hug, as he says, how about we not? I need to go take a shower, okay? First, then you'll give me a hug, okay? As he says, yeah. All right, head. As they knew who Moo Moo was, as he says, they're like, wow, after that explosion, it was like a nuclear bomb. So, yeah. How did you survive? As he says, I'm a mortal cow. What you expect? I'm a human that's immortal. No matter how many times you have to, like, try to kill me, then, yeah. He basically did. He went to a shower, got some fresh clothes on, and he is like, that feels much better. As he makes sure you got lots of stuff. Yeah. So basically, yeah. Please wait for part 2.